Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderfall Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to be taking a quick little review and talk about Angels of Death episode of 4 Awakenings. This is the 4th episode of the animated series by Games Workshop Warhammer Storyforge on Warhammer TV or Warhammer Plus. Now, this series is focused around a bunch of Blood Angels stuck on a planet in orbit, but we'll get into that in a second. First of all, I want to say I've managed to track down the credits for both the filmmakers and the cast here. These are the ones I could find, at least, of everyone involved, so thank you to everyone involved in this project, and fantastic, well done. There's a few names that definitely stick out here to me. John French is definitely one of the names I recognise as a Black Library author, if that is the same person. Well done. And then we've also got the cast, quite a few of these: Richard Reeves, Penelope Rawlins, John Banks, are all recognised as Black Library audiobook readers or audio drama performers, so fantastic work to all of those. I'm pretty sure I recognise Jonathan Keeble as well, but to everyone there, well done, and a great job of bringing these characters to life. Now, let's get talking about the episode. Alrighty, so to start off with, let's talk about what's happened so far in the series. Obviously, in the first episode, it's pretty much just gathering up our party, introducing all the major players and everything to the characters, and just introducing us to that particular group, and we sort of find ourselves meeting this group of Blood Angel Space Marines who are making their way back from some sort of campaign or battle or something. They've got a lot of gene seed on board their ship. They're really in sort of a bad way. There's not many of those particular Marines left. In fact, there's not even an apothecary or a sanguinary priest available to them. The tech Marine is actually having to take control of all that sort of protection of the gene seed and such. But anyway, we sort of meet them, and their captain eventually had made sort of his way down to the surface and they'd lost all communication with him. And so our group of Marines are sort of deciding what to do, and eventually, as they're about to make a decision, maybe perhaps to leave him be and leave him where he is, his locator beacon goes off and they decide, well, we know where he is now, so we're making planetfall, and they do so via a drop pod insertion, which looks absolutely awesome. And eventually they get down to the surface of the planet and they start to find out that the planet is actually overrun by gene stealer cultists. One of our Marines is from the Death Watch, and so he sort of picks up on the first few signs, and you sort of start to see him going over all these stories and all this knowledge that he has about the gene stealer cults and the Tyranid menace as a whole. And eventually our Marines sort of fight their way through, and they end up finding the locator beacon from the Thunderhawk outside a complex, and they find the captain's honor guard of Terminators completely shredded. Absolutely destroyed, and so they end up making their way into this little complex, and eventually they start to realize that, oh, this is a lot worse off than we thought. There's actually pure strain gene stealers here. So that's where we left off with the last episode. So let's talk about what happened this episode. And so the episode actually starts with us having a sort of past shot of a story talking about Kazarian, our Deathwatch Space Marine, and he is sort of praying for power towards the God Emperor, and is actually sort of questioned about this by none other than Mephiston, the Lord of Death himself, back on Baal. And this is sort of set just before he actually enters into his service of the Deathwatch, and he talks about how he can sort of feel the rage and the hunger, and this sort of plays a part later in the show and the episode, as we sort of see like how maybe the Deathwatch and his lack of brotherhood around him actually sort of maybe is pushing him towards the rage. And so our Marines begin to make their way through the complex. They sort of start to discover different things. They have a few small skirmishes and stuff like that. But meanwhile, while this is happening, we sort of cut towards the Gene Stealer cults leaders, and this is the first real shot we get of like the background stuff of the Gene Stealer cults. And we can see their leaders sort of planning to join the many-armed god up in the sky, and all the while just sort of rallying their troops to throw them at the Space Marines and keep them distracted. And so they rally all their troops and they start to hit the Marines. The Marines generally are getting the upper hand in the fight. However, the Gene Stealer cult's leader, he unleashes a secret weapon. These abhorrent, massive, sort of brutish creatures upon the Space Marines, and they actually enter the fray and actually end up taking down a couple of the Battle Brothers. First of all, one of the battle brothers, just one of the regular Lion battle brothers, is taken down, just instantly killed. You get that sort of sense that he's just dead upon impact after this thing just splits his armor in half with such force that it can break, while none of the others have ever done anything. I mean, we've seen them take tank shocks, and this thing just completely mauls him. Eventually, we see this Marine fall, and we see Kazarian really start to sort of fall into the rage, and we start to see like his sort of him almost breaking into that black rage, and his chaplain really trying to hold him back and sort of talking to him while this is all happening. And eventually the chaplain stops him, but at a devastating cost, and the chaplain is actually attacked, and we end our episode with the chaplain being struck and Kazarian about to go full on into the black rage. And so that's really where our episode ends. It's a really cool episode, and definitely starting to show some interesting parts of the Blood Angels in general. I'd love to know everyone's thoughts on how they're enjoying the series so far and where they think we're going to go next. But I think we're about to see some very, very angry Space Marines, as we've lost a couple of the Battle Brothers. I really do wonder what we're going to see happen in the end. Well, that's the video, everyone. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server which you will find a link to in the description of the video. And if you'd like to help support the channel more in a different way, you can do so either by following a link in the video to our Teespring store and purchasing some merch, or by helping support the channel via Patreon or YouTube members. As a special thanks to everyone who has supported the channel via Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give a shout out to all of them. So thank you to our patrons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Chaos Spawn, AJC, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shop First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, MJ, and Dynat226. A special shout out as well to all our YouTube members: Green Rich Gaming, Kenton Young, Steve T, The Real, Zeop, Chris Wallace, Turai12, Vinny, Lock Lorick, Matt Mollim, Becca, Kinski Groupie, The Johnny84, and El Mapache. And a special thanks as well, first of all, to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel. It's absolutely amazing. People love it. I love it. She's fantastic. You can go find her on Instagram. And also a special thanks to Xmorphic, who does a great job behind the scenes for our Discord server, running everything amazingly over there for me. That's it for today, folks, though. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.